All right. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long time no talk, but welcome back again to the Donut Shop Cop, the podcast. As always, I am Chris, your host or co-host, and that's my partner, Andy. And together, we are going to embark on an extraordinary journey because we are a one-stop destination where we dive into the captivating world of real estate investing, sprinkled with the irresistible aroma of freshly baked donuts, which are my favorite because I am a fat kid at heart. And what cop doesn't like donuts? So, Andy, with that said, my friend, why don't you tell everybody how we met and why we're in a donut shop?
Like it was 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that, right? And I was in a donut shop. My computer was on, and I get this tap from this cop at 3 o'clock in the morning. He goes, "Excuse me, sir, but you're making some really bad investment decisions." And then he arrested me for doing that.
That's true. I may have arrested you. Yeah, maybe I arrested you for eating the wrong donut or something. I don't know about that. But so anyway,
but
yes.
in all seriousness, no, we met through mentorship at some other events, and we decided to go ahead and do this and change people's lives.
Yes. And that's kind of the goal. So with that said about mentorships, I'd like to welcome tonight's guest. She is near and dear to my heart, and I know, Andy, she is near and dear to yours as well. But this lady that I'm going to introduce and have the pleasure of speaking with tonight has changed my life. She's actually changed it a couple times, actually, and she doesn't ever admit to it, but she knows it, that she's changed my life and my wife's life twice. So Amy is a mentor. She is an unbelievable real estate coach. She is the no longer self-proclaimed, but world famous private money queen, as we refer to her. So Amy, I won't ramble on about you, but why don't you tell everybody that's watching who you are, where you live, kind of that just short intro.
Thank you, guys. First of all, you know me, I'm so sensitive. So I had to think about something else when you were telling people that I changed your lives, but I wouldn't cry. And I still don't believe it because I'm just like everyone out there. I'm just, I always talk about my background and, I grew up in a Middle Eastern family and I had to go to school. I had to obtain the highest form of education. I had to get good grades, which I didn't. I was always average. And I had a regular old corporate job working for Dell Computers, and I still can't believe I was with them for 14 years. And then similar to you guys, 10 years ago, I heard an ad on the radio and it was like, "Give us all your money, we'll teach you how to flip houses." And that's a good idea. And so I did. I invested in a coaching program, and it was just meant to be a hobby. It was meant to be a side hustle while I pursued what I thought was my dream job with Nike in Portland, Oregon. And because of my mentorship, of course, but also my ability to just naturally know how to raise private money, I was able to, the turning point was in my very first year as a part-time brand new real estate investor. I was able to buy, renovate, and sell 10 high-end properties and made 1x my salary at Dell after being at Dell for 14 years with an MBA. So yeah, I fell in love with the transformation process genuinely, but then I also saw the earning potential, right? So that was 9 years ago, quit my job, and I've been a full-time investor ever since.
Nice. That's awesome. That is awesome. So we have a similar journey, although you're much more photogenic than I. So in my cop days, I'm also a PIO. So that means I get to be in front of the camera and do media and all that kind of stuff. But I have a face for radio, not a face for camera. So you were a star on HGTV. So how did that even come on? Or was Sean the star and he brought you on as a co-star? Or how did that work?
It's all so crazy. And the moral of this story, I'm going to take 2 minutes to share with you, is find something that you're passionate about, don't worry about making money. And when you find something you're passionate about and good at, of course, like the money will come. So because you asked, here's how HGTV started. I was always really good at just like networking. And 10 years ago, I hired a virtual assistant for my real estate business, and she asked me what my goals were. And I told her, I said, I've never said this to anyone, but I want my own TV show. And I'd be like the host on the Travel Channel or something. I like talking to people. And she was like, oh, my mom's a producer at HGTV. Do you want an intro? And I asked her which show. She said House Hunters. I was like, no, girl, thank you, but I don't want to be on House Hunters. Like, I want my own show. And then I was like, that's crazy. So I called up Whitney from Tennessee, and I was like, you know what? I'll take the intro because you never know what it's going to lead to. And the producer and I hit it off. And yes, I was on House Hunters, Where Are They Now? But we did a 4-part series, which still till this day, they've never done that in the history of House Hunters, where they followed my transition out of corporate America into entrepreneurship. So that's how I got on TV. You know, the producer wanted to record more content in Chicago. I happened to be a brand new investor in Chicago. I happened to be looking for my primary residence. So she was kind of able to tweak the story. And during that process, I was like, you know what? I can't believe this just happened through networking. So I ended up writing a book. This still has nothing to do with private money, right? Like I wrote this book, and it was all about just like how to talk to people, build real relationships. And I didn't even realize 3 years later, this was going to be the foundation of my coaching program. Like, this is how you make money. You like talk to people like a normal person, right? And there's a strategy, of course, but that's how this whole thing started. It was just by networking.
That's classic. So, I mean, because there's a couple things that resonate in my head, and most people won't know this because they don't know you, but there's a few phrases that always stick in my head. You know, I think we tried to coin it last week when we said, what would Amy do? You weren't on that meeting that day. I think it was last Thursday. So we were doing hashtag WWAD, what would Amy do? But there's a few things that you used to say to me even early on, back in when you were first my coach, and then now with RPM, is just go do it. Why haven't you done it? Right? Why haven't you done it? Just go do it. Right. And I think that's kind of a big thing that has resonated with me, and most people don't understand that, right? Like you said, if you want something, just go do it. Go talk to people, you know, and do that sort of thing. So I think that's pretty cool.
Well, thank you.
I have to say something funny. I won't tell too many people, but I probably reference Sean in this, but he specifically asked to have his own show. So that's why he was not invited tonight. So
I was texting you, like, do you want us both on here?
Yeah, no, well, obviously, yes. But when I talked to Sean wanted not to be in the shadow of greatness. So he wanted his own show. So that's why we didn't invite Sean.
Oh, that's very kind of him. So
yeah. not that he has an ego or anything.
Oh, no, not at all.
No, not at all.
No.
So why don't you tell people, Amy, where you're based? Where are you based out of now? And
so I'm from the Midwest, raised in Michigan, moved to Austin, Texas, where I still am. But I moved here 22 years ago because Dell was the one and only job offer I got out of undergrad. And I was here for 10 years. But then my job at Dell became remote because I was working with our clients in Europe. So back in 2010, I left Austin, went to Chicago, went to San Diego, and then came back to Austin 3 years ago. During that time, I met Sean, got married. We had a baby, as you guys know, Emma. And so now Emma's 4. We're living in Austin. And we have recently decided that this will be our home base. And, you know, so now we're just trying to figure out like exactly which neighborhood we want to settle down in.
And now you're golf cart owners.
Yes, within 1 week of moving in, we bought a golf cart.
Made it to the big time.
And by we, I mean Sean.
Wait, do you drive it? Do you drive the golf cart?
Okay, not often, but this is so funny. So Sean was out of town last weekend, and I don't get out as much as he does. It's true. He's outside way more than I. It's a huge weakness of mine. So I was like, Emma, you want to go on a golf cart ride? And she looks at me and she goes, you don't know how to drive the golf cart. I was like, right. Just because I don't drive it doesn't mean I can't. So now I'm, yes, girl, let's go. So
You should take her to school in it.
no, I can't because it's down a highway. Um, but actually I did have to call Sean and be like, where are the headlights on this thing? Because we were driving at night.
It has
So
headlights? Oh,
it's
yeah.
yeah.
Does it have a stereo?
It didn't come with one, but he attached a Bluetooth speaker to it. That's another thing. He was like, Mom, can you play music? And I'm like, no, girl, there's not a radio in here. And she's like, look, Daddy has a speaker. I'm like, how? I don't understand. Thank you, 4-year-old. So, yeah.
Well,
So
she's
what's
ahead
your
of the
favorite
curve.
activity then? If you don't get outside, what's your favorite activity?
I was gonna say, girl, don't even start. I don't even know. This is a problem. Like I'm looking at my whiteboard. My favorite activity right now is trying to like get a daily routine going and find balance. Like I still don't have balance. Yeah. So anyway, not
But you work out.
Well,
You
but
work
you
out
can,
hardcore every day.
I have been working out, not consistently, right? So as a coach, this is why Maurice kicks my butt. He's like, how can you sit there and be a coach and you're not even going to hold yourself accountable for your workouts? So he's been my accountability partner. You know, Sean and I travel a lot. We took a break. Actually, we've been traveling 1 to 2 times a month. And then in August, we were like, forget it. I'm burnt out. I'm overwhelmed personally, professionally. And so I'm really just trying to find balance right now and just take a break through the rest of the year. Obviously we have our event coming up, right? But after that, I just want to chill. And you guys know when I teach you about private money, I'm all about working smarter, not harder, right? So I'm really trying to like figure out what that looks like personally and like in other parts of my business too.
I think that's a really good message that you just put out there, right? Because there's so many people that just go and don't know when to pull back. And just the fact that you're coaching a lot of people. I'm one of them. Chris is one of them, right? And you, there, like it's 2 days a week, plus you have private calls as well. Yeah. And so to find that balance, I'm so happy that you said that because I'm going bonkers because there comes a point where you take on too much.
Yeah.
Right.
I
And
mean,
then you have to, yeah. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, you're right. It's like, because you want to do everything, right? You see the potential with real estate and like your podcast. You know, I've been talking about doing a podcast for 10 years, but I'm like, I like what you guys are doing is so much work. And you have full-time jobs and you're real estate investors, right? Yeah. Like, and you're like raising money and partnering with other people, like, and you have families. It's just like, what do you prioritize? You know, people, they just like see you on social media, right? And they think they have all these perceptions, but it's like, we're all the same. We all have families. We all have responsibilities. We're all overwhelmed. We all want to be great at what we do. We're all type A, many of us, you know? So, but yeah, it's hard. Like I'm really good at raising money. I suck at everything else, like for real.
I highly doubt that, but it's good because we've had a few other guests on too, and they all say the same thing, right? So it's good to hear and have other people hear that, you know, successful people like yourself and coaches and gurus, as we call them. You know, Andy and I are not gurus and we are not coaches, right? We are students. I'll probably be a student for life. That's because I'm a dumb cop, but it's good to hear that you guys go through the same struggles that we go through in daily life, right? That you still have to find balance. You still have to have your family side, your professional side, and then you have to have the time for yourself.
Yeah.
It's important to have that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or I think I don't, right? Like I'm terrible at time management, but it's like, even this weekend, you just said you'll be a student for life. So are, you know, so am I, so is Sean. Like this weekend, I'm leaving the family for 4 days and I'm not even speaking at the Bigger Pockets conference, but I'm going to network, right? And build relationships and partnerships. And so we put ourselves into environments just like that, like all the time.
But that's the other thing is, right? There's so much going on now. There's so many events that we can go to. Like there's Jake and Gino's, there's Big in Pockets, there's all this other stuff we can go to. It's like you basically need an administrative assistant to kind of lay out where you're going to be next because you can go to all these things. and it is
Yeah.
about networking. I totally like, yes, Chris, I'm going off the rails with this long question.
Here it comes.
Oh, here it comes. Okay.
Here it comes.
But it really is a struggle for me when I'm looking at all this stuff. It's like nothing is happening in California, right? So when you
Yeah.
say that you're in Texas, I'm thinking Texas is where everything is. It's either Texas or Florida. So you don't have to go that far, which is great, right? But there's so much on the docket that you can actually go to. But where does that leave you time to actually go raise the capital? Like, because we're all looking for the same thing, right?
Yeah. So, and that's a great point. And that's what's so cool. And, about like RPM is like, I teach you how to raise money by not changing anything in your life other than the words that are coming out of your mouth. So like when I go to Bigger Pockets, like, yeah, I'm going to be looking to establish partnerships with people who are flipping, or maybe affiliate partnerships with people who have other coaching programs, but also to raise money. It's like, people are going to ask me what I do for a living. And yeah, I mentioned a coaching program and how I flip in San Diego and I'm flipping in Phoenix, but I'm also going to say, yeah, we're also in the process of raising capital for all of our deals. So and you guys know this, right? It's your mindset and really believing in what you're doing and understanding the benefits of private money, and then just announcing it to the world, like literally 24/7, everywhere you go, everyone you encounter, your peers. This is gonna sound crazy. This is kind of crazy. People you arrest. I guess it depends on what you arrest.
I don't think people I arrest are going to lend me money unless their name is Andy Borsis right there, my partner.
Wait. I got a question. You got pulled over. Did you
actually? Oh, yes. Please share this story.
But did you tell him about raising private money?
Okay, if he wasn't an a-hole, as I whisper, I would have, but
you should have brought my name.
I thought of you. I'm not kidding. I am like going to court, and I'm gonna be like, I don't think so.
Well, look at all the potential there to raise.
That would be hilarious, actually, if you tried the 4-second power pitch while you're waiting to testify in court.
I should.
Oh, that would be great.
I should do like an IG live.
Yeah. You should actually work it into your intro to the judge and see what his response is when you say, I show people how to earn double-digit returns backed by real estate, Your Honor, and just slip it in somewhere in your testimony.
Oh, if we could get that on camera, that would be freaking awesome.
Please, let's have a side conversation about how we have until October 30th to contest the ticket. But I got 3 citations, and it's okay, I would love your opinion on this. Of course, I think he's an a-hole because who gets speeding tickets? Like, I get mad at Sean because he's always speeding, and then I get a ticket. Like, I was literally going to get breakfast tacos for the family. So he gave me the speeding ticket number 1. I was going 13 miles over. I was just going with the flow of traffic. That was my response. Apparently it wasn't good enough. But he gave it to me for 13 over, not 5. So in Michigan, they would just do it for 5 over. Then I got a citation for having no auto insurance, which there's no way. But maybe. And then number 3.
Maybe.
And then number 3 was, my address wasn't updated on my license. I'm like, sir, we just moved 2 months ago. I didn't even know we have 90 days to update our license. So for me, it's a matter of principle. I know you guys may not want to hear this, but they've just given me the ticket for speeding and given me a warning for the other 2.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. So just some friendly from him. Just some friendly advice. The words I would do.
I hate when we lose you, Chris.
Never come out of your mouth when you're in court.
Wait, you got to repeat that. Break it up.
You're guilty.
Wait. Say that over again.
So don't let the words of "I was just going with the flow of traffic" ever come out of your mouth when you're in court.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Anything else?
Because that will immediately sink your ship. You're pretty much you're headed down with the Titanic right now, right? All you're gonna do is just listen to the band play for a little bit. But what you should do is just make sure you do have insurance, because if you can prove that you had insurance the day you were pulled over, that's the important part. Then it's
Yeah.
just a fix it. Then it's just a fix it ticket, because you have to have it in your car with you. Because even if you don't have it in your car, he can still write you a ticket for it.
Is it a fix-it ticket still called a citation?
Yeah.
Oh, then I should email. Maybe that's what it is. But he said I'm giving you 3 citations.
Yeah. So the speeding one is that's a citation that it is what it is. The insurance and the change of address on your license, those usually are like fix-it tickets where you can actually just go change your address and then go print out your insurance that says I had valid insurance on this day, and then it's just like a administrative cost that you pay, just like a court cost.
Oh yeah, they're gonna need to waive that. I'm gonna fight.
So welcome to
The
Donut
court is
Shop
not good
Cop,
at waiving fees, by the way.
where you not only get advice on how to raise capital, you get advice on speeding tickets.
Yes, exactly.
Welcome to Donut Shop Cop.
So before we move off that topic, though, I have to ask, because I ask everybody. So outside of that experience, what is the best or worst experience prior to that, and you are allowed to go back to your youth, that you've had with a cop?
Unless you had 2 Utes.
Yeah, unless you had 2 youths.
I was a good kid. The only thing that actually comes to mind is I was in 7th grade and my parents were out of the country. So I was forced to stay at my aunt and uncle's house. Well, then my best friends were like, ooh, your house is empty. Can we sneak into your house and like have a party? And I was like, yeah, girl, here's the key, whatever. This is my best friend. So they didn't, oh, by the way, they still broke the window to get in because they were saying, you know why? Oh my God. If my dad was alive, we laughed about it until he died. But okay, so yeah, here's the key. And then when I was packing up to go to my aunt's house, I got nervous that I told them they could come over. So I took the key out of the garage and I was like, oh, they're just going to go home, because who would break into your house?
Right.
They broke into our house.
Oh my God.
Took out my mom and dad's car. We were 15. So they crashed the car.
Oh no, it's risky business. The movie.
And then they parked it back in the driveway. And they were like, thanks, we got in okay. Everything's good. I'm like, how did they get in if I took the key? So then my parents called the cops. And I had to be like, I don't know what happened.
That's a solid defense. Don't use that defense in court either. That's not going to be good.
Don't tell that story in court.
Yeah. No.
It felt so bad.
Oh my God.
My parents later, like, they couldn't sleep at night because they actually believed me. And they were like, who's breaking into our house? That's like the worst thing I did, I think.
That's outstanding.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of boring, but it's
I
guess
know.
that's to be expected.
It's not
Yeah.
boring. That's fun. That's like Risky Business, the movie, if you're old like me. And remember that movie.
Yeah,
I've
I
never
can't wait. I can't wait till we have a guest. When I ask that question, they're going to say, well, there was this time when I was arrested. I'm waiting for those words to come out of somebody's mouth.
I don't
Right.
even think Sean's ever been arrested. I don't know, though.
Oh, I don't buy that.
I don't know. A lot of my cousins have been arrested. My brother's been arrested at college. But I even did my cousin's community service and pretended to be her. And then she wrote my college essays. So we swapped. But I've never been arrested.
So how
So
do we get
what-
this conversation back to real estate?
I will get it back right now. I promise. So
'Cause
let's
I
unlock
totally-
the mystery of the queen of raising private money. So obviously you teach everybody how to raise private money. I know you still raise private money in whatever little spare time you have in between coaching and mentoring and just being an overall badass. So with maybe not even raising private money, what projects do you have going? Do you have any projects of your own that you have going that like are either a flip, a rehab, or what does someone like you with your status do when you're not coaching?
So thank you. I don't really have a status, but I know what you mean. Yes, I have 2 new builds, 2 or 4, I don't know, in Austin that I should know. That's how like I have removed myself in a good way. in Austin, Texas, downtown that are going to be done around Christmas. And then I'm not doing any more in Austin. And then in Phoenix, we are looking for cosmetic flips, which are going to be cool because very different than Austin and Chicago, all in, buy, renovate for under 400. And then I have a 10-unit multifamily in San Diego. So I'm going to keep everything because I love my general contractor in San Diego and I love my general contractor in Phoenix. So I'm going to keep everything in those two markets moving forward, do it on a small scale. And then I don't know, because I've actually been focused more on, I've been testing some new private money strategies for the community. And so I'm raising more money. And so I'm like, maybe I'll start partnering with people, or I still want to take down RPM syndication. The only person I trust for deals is Ashley, and she's so busy right now, but that's something I would like to eventually do with just our community as well.
Right.
So are you saying, because I just wrote this down while you were talking, that you're diversifying your portfolio? Because it sounds like you got 3 separate things going on, right?
Yeah. So look, my number one job is being a mom. Number 2 is RPM. This is way more important to me than flipping another house. I've been doing this for 10 years, made money, lost money. Financially, Sean and I are stable. We are secure. Of course, we haven't achieved, the financial, we have financial goals still that we haven't reached. But number 2 is RPM, making it better for all of us. And then number 3 is my real estate portfolio personally. Sean is growing the commercial side. We just invested money passively with 2 new operators. And then I'm focusing on the residential flips and partnerships. So that's number 3. And I don't want to do those on a large scale, and I'm not going to anymore. I put 80% of my time into RPM.
Yes, we know. And we're grateful to you for that.
We are, because it does, it is a huge community. So like we tell people in here all the time that we are not gurus. Andy and I are not instructors. We are not selling anything. We're not coaches. We're not attorneys by any means, and we are not CPAs. But we tell people all the time, we're just normal people, right? That have been surrounded by good people like yourself and good mentors like Jen and Stacy and yourself and others in the RPM community and the WOW community. So we're always learning. So my point is some of the things that it's funny to hear you talk about your number one job as a mom, and that you still have financial goals, right? Because we look up to you, and everybody looks up to people like yourself, and it's funny to still hear that, right? Because when I say you changed my life, it doesn't have to be that you changed my life and now I'm making millions of dollars and I don't have to work anymore and I can have Bentleys and all this stuff. That's not always what life changing is, right? Sometimes it's literally just the confidence to be able to have those conversations and help other cops, right? Like I get joy today out of whenever I have a conversation with a fellow cop or a police officer, and I can educate them on, hey, do you know that $35,000 sitting in your account, which they think is nothing, that can make you 12 to 15% backed by real estate, And so I've fielded that question more often than not. And because of you, I've helped many people invest that. And it's funny because I have to explain to them that $35,000 is a lot. There's a lot of people in this country that don't even make $35,000 in a year.
Right.
But the fact that I'm having a conversation about them being able to passively invest $35,000 and make 15% on their money is all thanks to you. And that's life-changing, right? So, I mean, it really is. So what would you tell somebody right now that's new, that's looking to get into real estate, or that has money sitting around? So it's not coming from Andy or I, right? Dumb and Dumber. It's coming from someone that like yourself.
Yeah. I mean, so there are going to be 2 groups of people right now who are watching. The first group is somebody who has a little bit of savings. They've got some money. They want to do something. I would say go find a coach. Like before you even lend it out, get a freaking coach, and they will teach you whatever you want to learn, whether it's flipping, wholesaling, sub 2, raising money, whatever. And then there's the person who doesn't even know. Actually, there's three people. Then there are people who just have no money. I'm still going to say go get a coach and put it on a credit card. You don't have a credit card, figure it out. Somebody will give you a loan. And then there's the person who's like, I don't even know where to start. Like, what kind of coach do I hire? Like, there are 1,000 investment strategies. Then that's when I would say, and this is a message I started preaching a year and a half ago, is then just learn how to raise money. And then you can become someone's capital partner. And by becoming someone's capital partner, all you do is raise money for their deals, and they can partner with you, Chris, on, you know, short-term or long-term rentals, or maybe with Andy if you're doing a flip, or maybe they want to go raise money for somebody doing a syndication, until you figure out what strategy resonates with you, and then you can go learn and focus on that one strategy. So that's the advice I would give.
I think that comes down to a lot of that is mindset too, right? And that's a big part of it is for Chris and I, you know, with all of the money that we put out money to learn, right? Because it was important to us, because I went to college and came out of there with a degree in film and theater, and I've done fine in my career in that, but I'll never retire on that. But I was like, when we first met you 3 years ago, and my wife talked to you 3 years ago, I was like, we're going back to college. And then we did some other stuff. But what really got me about you when I met you for the second time at RPM was that I asked you a specific question about my profile on LinkedIn, because I was afraid to show people what I was really doing. And your answer to me is really why I'm here, right? Because it was a mindset shift.
Yeah.
And I think that you do that too with people too, because you're just straight up with people. And I think that's yeah.
Thank you for that reminder. And you know, I hear these examples and stories, and for somebody like me, just again on this one topic, I'm like, oh, sure, of course. Like, that makes sense. That's so easy. You know, like Chris said, just do it. But it's like, that's just because I'm really good at this one topic, right? Like, I was talking to one of my mentors earlier today, who's she is a marketing guru. She's actually one of the industry's best at marketing for leads. And she gave me a piece of advice, and I'm like, oh my God, I have never thought about that in 10 years. And it was such a simple concept, right? Like, the scripts I give you guys, they're so simple. They're just things we don't think about, you know? Yeah. So it's not hard stuff. It's not hard work. It's a lot of work, and you just got to do it, you know?
Yep. Yeah, that's the mindset shift though, because part of this is social media, like what we're doing here, right? This part of this is that there's people that don't want to get on social media, but it's a huge part about raising capital as well. Yeah. So, you know, there's a lot of people I find with this head trash that they think I can't go on LinkedIn because my boss is going to see me. Right. That was the defining factor for me when you told me, basically the bottom line is, you don't work for the company on weekends, do you? And I was like, oh crap, she had to go there, right?
I'm sorry, but most people's bosses don't care about them, right? Yeah. It's like, not yours, I don't know. Most people, they don't care. And it's like, why am I gonna bust my butt, work overtime when I'm salary, at least in my situation, and still, like, you guys, I was making $87,000 a year at Dell. I was at Dell for 14 years with an MBA making 87 G's. It's like, that's insane.
That's insane.
And again, well, that's a great salary, right? It's double some police officers. Yep. But again, like, it's not going to allow me to do the things I want to do, right? And I don't know about experiences. I don't care about cars. I don't care about jets. Like, I'm not materialistic. I have $10 t-shirts. This is the most expensive sweatshirt I have. I finally, like, a few months ago, bought a Lululemon sweatshirt, you know, and it's like, but I like to spend money flying first class. I like to stay at nice hotels. I like to go on a lot of vacations, you know, and it's like, that's not going to work for a family of 3 making $87,000 a year.
Right. It's not.
Right.
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
And that's why it's so great that you do what you do. Because I think when people come to the event, let's talk. I'm interrupting you, Chris, but I think the next big thing we need to talk about is to promote the hell out of your next event, so people can
what I was headed towards.
Get to the next level and be part of your community, because your community is great and welcoming, And some of us go on every Tuesday or Thursday, and we're still like, damn, I got to get my ass in gear. Guilty.
Right. Yeah, I know. So the event's coming up. We're super excited. November 4th and 5th in Austin, Texas, which reminds me, I think we may have actually just today oversold VIP. So I got to post about that tomorrow. But for those of you wondering, it's the implementation event, right? It's a 2-day conference. Bring your laptops, bring your computers. We're going to be raising money together live and in person. Me, Chris, I know you won't be there, Andy, and a bunch of other RPMers are going to be like hovering over your shoulder, like telling you to follow the system, just do it. We're going to raise money on day 1 before we break for lunch. And then on day 2, it's pretty cool because I'm flying in 9 investor guest speakers who are experts in their field. We got a pretty good speaker lineup, and they're going to be talking to you all about like, all right, now you know the importance of private money and how to start raising it. So how can you invest it, right? Rob from Bigger Pockets, short-term rentals. David and Amanda Fernelli will talk about boutique hotels, a turnkey Airbnb service that they've launched. Dana Jetty will talk about syndications. Sean's going to talk to you guys about, speaking with posture, interviewing private money lenders. So, and I'm forgetting Mark Kohler, our business attorney, our CPA, right? Like, and they're going to be there all weekend. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. Like Mark is flying in. Like, it's hard to even get Mark to respond to a text message. He's going to be there for 3 full days. Like, that alone is worth the ticket. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark is amazing. Yeah.
I mean, you pay him a lot of money for an hour. So,
yeah, but he's got so much energy when he like that. The subject he talks about is so boring, but he doesn't make it boring.
Exactly. I agree. And we do still limit seating, so if you guys want to come, great. Get your ticket, link in my IG bio, raisingpm.com. You can read all about it, but it's a lot of fun. And you guys specifically, Chris and Andy, are going to see that Amanda's been a huge help. She's pretty much been like acting like a consultant and another set of eyes and ears, my right hand, like, man. And we just started changing a lot in Kajabi. So things are going to be moving around, going away, looking better. So it'll be good for all the current RPMers too, to go back to the training, get a refresh, learn about some of the new stuff. And I feel like I just rambled. So
no, but that was perfect.
But I will double down because I've been to a lot of real estate events. Not a lot, but I'm pretty selective to the ones that I go to. And when I reconnected with you about 1.5 years ago and you said, no, I got you, show up at this event, it's just a different event. The energy in the room, it's different than any other real estate event. The people that are in the room are a different level and different quality of people in the room. For so many people being there, and, the community is not big. It's big, but it's not too big. It's kind of, a good size, and where everybody kind of knows everybody. And just the family vibe. I mean, everybody's so welcoming. Like, even the first time I went and I didn't know anybody, I had people coming up to me and introducing themselves and saying hi and asking me what I did and where I was from. And it wasn't about them and how good they're doing, right? And it's even if you're not in real estate, it's just the mindset is amazing. It's not just about raising private money. Obviously, that's a focus, but there's other topics that are taught. It doesn't matter whether you're in multifamily, single family, flipping. You're gonna learn so much that you're gonna want to not leave the weekend, right? It's one of those weekends where it's just fun, and it's fun to be around everybody. So,
thank you. But that's the biggest takeaway, is the networking and the relationships. So
yes.
And it's just not the same to do it virtually. It's not. I'll try to figure something out next year, but it's just not the same.
Yep.
No, come back to Long Beach.
Let me ask you this, Amy. What's the dumbest thing your husband has ever done on stage?
Oh, God.
Either at your event or a past event that he's shared with you or you've witnessed.
I'm so At his event, he's so obsessed with the Cubs baseball that he had 2 floor monitors.
Oh
And
no.
one monitor, it's just that he's watching the game and speaking to 350 people. That's how good he is, right, at what he teaches. But I was like, I cannot, what if somebody saw that? He's like, they're not, it's tilted. I'm like, oh my God, that is crazy. So, and the other thing though, which he doesn't do for our events, and it's not dumb, I just don't like it, is like cuss words, but he doesn't do that anymore.
Right.
So, but
he
yeah,
does. He curbs himself. Like he has the banter with John, but he
Yeah.
he curbs himself. Just don't let him bring the shirt that matches his skin tone.
Okay, so the other day we were looking through all those pictures to update this brochure, and he looked at that shirt and goes, "Why did you let me buy this?" I go, "You said you loved it." Never let me wear that again.
Did he look in the mirror and realize that it looked like he didn't have a shirt on when he had the shirt on?
You have to tell him you said that, unless he's watching it.
He might be watching it.
He's gonna kill me, but at least in my defense, John said it first, and so we just reaffirmed what John was saying was true.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, John will be back. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so much fun. Oh, Chris, since you're gonna be on stage, we have a new videographer. Well, Chris, who does all my social media now. And he's actually bringing 3 cameras. He's bringing 2 members of his team. So we're going to get good footage of everyone. So this time we'll be able to do more like with you on stage and stuff. So we'll give you all that content.
Yeah, that's going to
that'd be great.
It's so fun. Yeah. That's so fun.
So what, wait, so for people that can't be there, are you going to make that available for, I'm putting you on the spot right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Recordings.
Yeah. Like for me who can't be there, you know, I mean,
you're out of luck, buddy.
I guess so.
I mean, I could, but that sounds like a lot of work. So
yeah, never mind.
You should go.
I can't go. I want to go. I can't.
Andy, just go through your training. That's fine. Yeah. The only time we do some new stuff. Sean will do some sales and negotiation training. He'll probably host one. I don't know when, but anyways, okay. Yeah.
I'll catch it.
Do you have a crazy real estate story for us? Someone's always got a crazy real estate story where either they got broken into, or they had somebody poop in their place, or something crazy happened. Have you ever fought with a contractor or an agent? Like just started boxing with them?
All of the above.
Did anything happen? Did anything happen while you were recording the show? Like weird stuff, like the house hunters.
Nothing weird happened during filming, no. But I had one lady who said, she was a crazy lady, and she was like, "Your contractor killed my plant." I was like, "Okay, no problem. Let me go to Home Depot." I know plants. It was a $16 plant. I'll go to Home Depot, get you another one. And she's like, I don't know how the conversation went, but she was like, "That's not going to be enough." And I said, "How much is enough?" She said, $16,000 for a dead plant. I was like, "Okay, lady, then you can just sue me." Structure. And then I took a general contractor to court, got a judgment for $400,000. All he did was dissolve his LLC. So again, entity structure. And then, oh, I did have like a house. I love my main GC, but like the city of Chicago just like missed a lot of critical inspections. And this house was like plumbing disaster, one after another. Like, and this young couple is living in the house now. It's north of $1 million. They have 2 little kids. She's pregnant with twins. Oh my God, they would call me at 2 a.m, 3 a.m. Like there's literally water coming out of light fixtures. It was it was so bad. I felt so bad. And I kept paying and fixing it, but still, it's like. But not as bad as David and Amanda's, I guess.
Oh yes.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the crackheads and the poop.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings me back to, if you're going to stay in this game, right? It's going to take that kind of backbone to do it, right? Because it ain't easy, right? You staying in this game is not easy, and you have to have a certain level of backbone to stay in it and stuff like that, right? I had a one-eyed hooker and a bipolar drug addict in our duplex.
Are you being serious?
I am.
That's a party.
That's a party.
Like, did you actually see them?
Yeah, yes. It was crazy.
Oh my God. This is weird.
Is a one-eyed hooker half price?
Okay, you said that, I didn't, but yeah.
Nice.
I'm just asking.
Did you get pictures?
I wish we did. I truly wish we did, but it was. So yes, you got to have a thick skin to stay in this for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna make money, you're gonna lose money. Oh, I forgot about my 2 private money lender weird pervert stories. We'll save that for next time. But yeah, it's like a little bit of everything. And if you can't like figure this shit out, then don't do it. Like, you will not be successful.
Right. And
you will come across tough times.
You will be tested, and that's why I'm talking. I always go back to mindset. You will be tested, but if you want the end game, which is freedom from your job and time with your family, then this is the only game right now. Yeah. So that's.
So I have the most important question of the night for you, Amy. You have to think about this very seriously. So it's 2 a.m. in the morning. Okay. And you and I walk into a donut store. What am I buying you at the donut store?
The chocolate cake donut with the glaze over it.
Oh,
that's a
new one. We haven't heard that one.
We have not heard that one yet. That's a good one.
That's a new
one.
And
then number 2 would be a traditional glazed donut.
All right.
That's a new one. But you're going to have it with the cup we're going to send you.
Oh my God, you are?
Yeah, you get a mug. I'll bring it with me in November.
Oh yeah, bring it with you. We'll just give you and Sean one. Yeah, but
yeah.
Oh, we don't need to.
We give every guest one.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. I collect coffee mugs.
Yes, we're holding Sean's hostage until he comes on the show, though. So I'm not giving him one. He has to earn his.
Yeah. You should teach him and get that scheduled.
Yes, I know. I've got Amanda next week, and then we'll get Sean on after that if we have time in between, so he can promote it too.
Okay, so mine is, I'm going to go with powdered this week with jelly inside.
You're going with the crackhead donut. I like it.
Go with the crackhead donut.
Nice.
I'm going with.
I might vary it up this week. I might go with the old bear claw.
I like bear claws
because bear claws they're as big as my head, like my hands are right now.
Well,
that does look like a bear.
Yeah. This is awesome. Like, we have gone way over, and thank you so much. We don't usually go this way over. Well,
you guys. Oh, no worries. This was fun. I love it. We should do like a follow-up episode or something.
Yes,
I love
down with that. Absolutely. Yep. But before we go, Amy, you have to tell people how to find you.
Yeah.
How do they? What's your social handles? Like, where do you want people to find you? Yeah. Is there a book you're promoting or whatever you got?
The best place to connect with me is just on Instagram, this is my handle at Amy Mahjoory. And I actually do respond to every DM. So if you have a question, send me a message. I always say, just don't be weird. And I will, I always record videos and I post it and tag you so everyone can learn from your question. So that's the best spot to reach me.
Awesome. Well, I truly thank you for coming on the show. You are an idol. You're definitely somebody I look up to and I trust. My dad loves you to pieces. There is not a day that goes by that my dad does not ask for you, which for everyone listening is not in a creepy way. He just adores Amy for everything she has done for me and in turn for him, because he's one of my biggest investors before he even knew he was one of my investors. So like I said, it doesn't have to be monumental in order to change my life, but you're just somebody that when you meet you, and you meet your husband, you're just good people. And so keep being good people, because you attract good people. So
you're the real deal, and that's
You
why
are.
I'm here.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. That means so much. I appreciate you guys. You guys know how much I love you guys. And we really are going to miss you, Andy, in November. Chris, please tell your dad I said hello. I love your dad. And
Stop that.
We're not going to miss him.
I'm going to miss him. And
Yeah.
yeah, you guys, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you. We will
Yeah,
definitely
thank
have a follow-up whenever you have time. So I appreciate it.
Why don't we just have a follow-up with both of you on, Sean and you? And that would,
Yeah.
That would
That's
actually be hilarious.
yeah. All right.
Cool. All right. Well, Amy, thank you very much again for the time. I know you're busy, and now go get balanced and give Sean a big swift kick in the ass for me.
Thank you, guys.
Wait, you got to take us out, dude. You got
Oh, I got to take us out. This is what we do. See, I forget things that we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to take us out and say, thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Donut Shop Cop, the podcast. And we will see you again next week with Amanda Fornelli, the better half of David, who you met earlier. She's the brains and the brawn of that relationship. But until then, remember to stay safe, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of one good donut.
You did not
as
do
any
this.
fat kid would
This
tell
is
you.
our
So
branding, dude. Dude,
Yes.
you didn't do this.
One good donut. Sorry. So with that, we are 10:10, and we are headed back to the barn, and we are out. So thank you.